Sarah hung her flaxen head with a troubled air. "I don't know," said she. "I don't believe I've got anything Mother would be willing to have me give away." "There's Thankful. Your mother wouldn't care if you gave her away." Sarah started and hugged Thankful closer. "Yes, my mother would care too," said she. "Don't you know my Aunt Rose from Boston made her and gave her to me?" Sarah's beautiful young Aunt Rose from Boston was the special admiration of both the little girls. Submit was ordinarily impressed by her name, but now she took it coolly. "What if she did?" she returned. "She can make another. It's just made out of a piece of old linen anyhow. My work box is real handsome, but you can do just as you are a mind to." "Do you mean I can have the work box to keep?" inquired Sarah. "Course I do, if your turkey's bigger." Sarah hesitated. "Our turkey is bigger anyhow," she murmured. "Don't you think I ought to ask Mother, Submit?" she inquired suddenly. "No, what for? I don't see anything to ask your mother for. She won't care anything about that rag doll." "Ain't you going to ask your mother about the work box?" "No," replied Submit stoutly. "It's mine. My grandmother gave it to me." Sarah reflected. "I know our turkey is the biggest," she said, looking lovingly at Thankful, as if to justify herself to her. "Well, I don't care," she added finally. "Will you?" "Yes." "When's yours going to be killed?" "This afternoon." "So's ours." "Then we'll find out." Sarah tucked Thankful closer under her shawl. "I know our turkey is biggest," said she. She looked very sober, although her voice was defiant. Just then the great turkey came swinging through the yard. He held up his head proudly and gobbled. His every feather stood out in the wind. He seemed enormous, a perfect giant among turkeys. "Look at him," said Sarah, edging a little closer to the wall. She was rather afraid of him. "He ain't half so big as ours," returned Submit stoutly, but her heart sank. The Thompson turkey did look very large. "Submit! Submit!" called a voice from the Thompson house. Submit slowly got down from the wall. "His feathers are a good deal thicker than ours," she said defiantly to Sarah. "Submit!" called the voice. "Come right home. I want you to pare apples for the pies. Be quick." "Yes, marm," Submit answered back in a shrill voice. "I'm coming." Then she went across the yard and into the kitchen door of the Thompson house, like a red robin into a nest. Submit had been taught to obey her mother promptly. Mrs. Thompson was a decided woman. Sarah looked after Submit, then she gathered Thankful closer, and also went into the house. Her mother, as well as Mrs. Thompson, was preparing for Thanksgiving. The great kitchen was all of a pleasant litter, with pie plates and cake pans and mixing bowls, and full of warm, spicy odors. The oven in the chimney was all heated and ready for a batch of apple and pumpkin pies. Mrs. Adams was busy sliding them in